Buckingham Palace or Prince William set a trap for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and were they gullible enough to fall into it?
Meghan Markle is not grinning for Instagram today, as the walls of Buckingham Palace are apparently trembling once more.
Harry and Meghan Markle's surrogacy scandal has entered the mainstream media domain.
For years, she believed that she could outwit the monarchy by using theatrical Oprah speeches, well-curated picture shoots, and slick PR releases, as if royal customs were just a casual dress code at a brunch in Hollywood.
People think her kids are fake, they think they're AI, they think they're borrowed kids, like all these sorts of things because of Meghan and Harry.
However, Archie and Lilibet's birth certificates, baptism legitimacy, and lineage criteria have reportedly been the subject of a covert internal examination by the palace. Additionally, Meghan is reportedly pacing Montecito like a reality star who has just discovered that the reunion episode isn't set up to work in her advantage.
Buckingham Palace is being pressured to remove Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet from the UK's royal line of succession until the Duchess provides absolute proof that she popped out both babies herself.
It's not small talk. This headline isn't from a tabloid. Furthermore, Meghan isn't using Spotify analogies to dominate a story. This is allowed under the Constitution. The monarchy isn't a Netflix series where storylines are changed at the last minute. Proven biological origins, identifiable medical witnesses, and authentic Anglican baptism documents are requirements for royal lineage. But since Meghan once carried a baby bulge in front of a paparazzi camera, she acts as though the monarchy should automatically believe her.
Meghan entered this world like it was a Hollywood set, assuming she could rewrite the script, center herself in every scene, and edit out anything that didn't fit her narrative.
There are rumors that the palace has finally paid attention to what millions of people have been whispering about online for years. Paperwork discrepancies, picture abnormalities, inexplicable revisions, and baptism details that just do not correspond with centuries of royal practice. Additionally, Meghan's well-crafted fairy tale may fall apart more quickly than her podcast branding agreement if this critique intensifies. Because no amount of well-chosen lighting can change a birth certificate, the stakes this time are royal legitimacy rather than notoriety. Something inside the castle ultimately broke, and it had nothing to do with Meghan's carefully chosen garden photos or her never-ending platitudes about empowerment.
Then they put out pictures of Lilibet, but it doesn't. You see her half covered,
right.
But what all you see is Meghan. So it's all about Meghan.
Meghan recently shared a happy family photo of herself and Archie outside their Montecito home, according to senior advisors. And rather of garnering compassion, it rekindled the same rumors she had spent years trying to put an end to. Because every time Meghan releases images that are geared toward children, thousands of royal observers begin to investigate more, wondering why fundamental royal paperwork has never completely complied with protocol. Palace employees apparently had to discreetly review internal documents, press releases, medical certifications, and baptism records as a result of the increased attention. They didn't want drama, but rather watertight proof, not influencer energy, is what constitutional lineage demands.
Then when the baby was born, when Archie was born, that was another, in my view, a disaster because I knew we was not going to get a picture of it. Everybody was hoping we would get pictures of it.
According to reports, one consultant observed that certain documents were remarkably ambiguous, lacked customary signatures, or otherwise did not adhere to historical royal layout. Meghan's dramatic demand on seclusion backfired catastrophically, sparking debate over whether royal births recorded overseas without official medical supervision fit the constitutional criteria for inheritance and titles. The palace now needs to confirm more since she permitted fewer institutional witnesses. A direct internal query was supposedly posed by those close to the royal administration. Why does nothing appear standard on paper if everything was flawlessly standard? A quiet internal verification examination was justified by that one question alone. Here's the unexpected turn of events for Meghan.
I do believe because there are no delivery certificates, and I heard stories early on around the time Archie was allegedly in utero and being born, I heard stories that royal staffers were not allowed to see or touch her abdomen.
Royal rivals, or envious courtesies did not start this. Insider rumors suggest that palace officials are only doing this for one purpose. Instead of defending its ancestry in Instagram posts, the monarchy must do so on paper. However, what transpired when they examined Archie's file was very shocking. Meghan's star sheen and the media hoopla weren't the first things that sprang to mind when palace personnel reviewed Archie's paperwork. 1 month after his birth, the strange certificate alteration took place. Meghan was mentioned on Archie's birth certificate under her legal name, Rachel Meghan Markle, on May 6, 2019. Exactly standard. The paperwork was then abruptly changed on June 5th, without any explanation, to substitute her formal royal title, Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex, for her personal name.
Like the surname Mountbatten Windsor. If you remember, in her first lifestyle series with Meghan with them forever, she says to Carling that her surname isn't Markle but Sussex. And she was desperate to get it. She said we never had a proper surname, and of course they did.
In a monarchy that has managed births and christenings for centuries with more precision than a legal filing, last-minute retroactive edits are virtually unheard of. Royal birth records are drafted with exact wording once doctors, clerks, and palace officials sign off. Everything is locked before any public announcement. Yet this alteration appeared without transparent justification, opening a floodgate of suspicion that Meghan's representatives publicly blamed palace officials for modifying the record without her consent, portraying her as a victim of institutional interference. The palace quietly countered that Meghan herself requested the revision for branding reasons. Two conflicting narratives, no verified paper trail, and no detailed explanation. Exactly the kind of contradiction that makes investigators raise their eyebrows. Even odder, the palace chose not to present the traditional royal easel announcement at the hospital, a long-standing custom for senior royal births. That tradition isn't about pageantry. It is an internal verification step confirming medical oversight and proper witnessing. So all the photos circulating were inconsistent with the idea of a standard royal pregnancy. And I wondered, is she unaware of the context? Is she trying to hide something? This seemed unusually sloppy. But Archie's entry into the world bypassed all of that, leaving internal reviewers questioning why a royal birth suddenly resembled a Hollywood privacy stunt rather than a constitutional event.
So all of the pictures, my point is, out there were inconsistent with the idea of a real pregnancy. And I thought, what is she not contextually aware? She's trying to hide something. This is really sloppy pool.
It is uncomfortable. I don't think, because she's done this before for photos, I don't think that is a real baby bump. I think
way too big. It's way too big.
And sort of too low as well.
Yeah, it's like a metre out there. I mean, It looks the wrong shape.
Where's she going to give birth there? Through her knees or something? I mean, that is too low.
And if Archie's paperwork created mild confusion, Lilibet's situation pushed palace administrators into completely uncharted territory. Lilibet arrived on June 4th, 2021. And unlike every royal birth before her, the announcement didn't come from palace officials, medical supervisors, or royal press aides. It came exclusively from Harry and Meghan's personal PR team in California. An official UK obstetric team participated.